Hey, Casey Ferris here. I make videos on DaVinci Resolve here on YouTube. Today we're looking at Resolve 17. I'm just going to watch through the broadcast from Blackmagic and just give my thoughts as we go along. I'm really excited for this update. Let's jump in. Ip Man, they did Ip Man? That's crazy.
The black zone can be used to establish the darkest region in the frame. When working with overexposed areas, reducing the light zone exposure and adjusting saturation can help bring back details without needing secondary grading tools.
That's really cool.
An overlapping but more narrow zone, like a specular, can be used to bring out minor detail in the image highlights. Another addition to the palettes is the Color Warper, a mesh-based warping tool that allows for quick, intuitive adjustments of color and luminance simultaneously. The expand arrow at the top turns the Color Warper into a floating palette that can be resized for better detail control. There are two ways to start using the Color Warper. First, you can click directly in the viewer and begin dragging to change the values. An orange highlight will indicate your selected control point.
Ooh, this is
and its
kind of
position on
like the
grid.
that LUT
The second way is to click within the grid
builder
itself
thing.
to select the necessary control points. As you can see, multiple hues can be adjusted on the same grid. A drop-down menu at the top allows you to switch between the two Color Warper panels, Hue and Saturation, or Chroma and Luma. The controls in the Chroma and Luma grid
That's kind of like curves. That's kind of like the curves, but it's like it's like the curves mixed with the color wheel, sort of. That's interesting.
Represents the current color and luminance values of the image. Another major addition to the color page is the Magic Mask. This is a neural engine-powered secondary grading tool that can save hours of work by automatically creating and tracking masks to isolate a person or their physical features for targeted color grading.
Oh,
At the top of the
baby.
palette, two buttons allow you to select your preferred tracking mode, a full person, or a specific physical feature, which you can select from the drop-down menu. To begin tracking, click and drag in the viewer to draw a small stroke on the person you wish to track. Small strokes are better, as they will follow movement without interruption. The Mask Overlay button is used to review the predicted selection. If you're satisfied with the mask, use the transform controls to run an analysis.
Okay.
After tracking, use the Mask Finesse controls
Come
to run the resulting
on.
mask. With the track successful, disable the Mask Overlay and perform your secondary grade as needed. This before and after comparison shows how you can use the Magic Mask to pop someone out of a visually busy environment.
Dang,
Use the
Gina.
invert button if you wish to focus your selection outside the tracked person. This can be effective for grading backgrounds to be less distracting, or for some more creative application. DaVinci Resolve
Wow.
17 has undergone the biggest changes to its internal color management since it was first introduced. The viewer now features 3 new image white modes: diagonal, Venetian blind, and checkerboard.
That's
When creating
nice.
smart filters on
That's
the color
nice.
page, you now have a Show in All Projects checkbox to save favorite filters across all projects in your database. The expanded GPU scopes now feature a 3x3 view, allowing you to set up multiple identical scope types with unique
Look at all
parameters.
those scopes.
And when working with dual monitors, it is now possible to drag the floating scopes window onto your second display. The primary
Oh,
palette
that's
has been
cool.
redesigned, with the adjustment controls now accessible in one panel at the top and bottom of the palette. The Curves palette now features a new HSL curve, Sat versus Lume, in which you can adjust the luminance of a specific saturation range. You can now also pop out the Curves palette to allow for much finer.
That's like the oh, that's cool. You can
Some
get the big
additional
curves.
support and functionality has been provided for colorists
I
who
think,
work with
couldn't
LUTs
you
or
do
lookup
that?
tables.
You
It
did
is
that
now
with the
possible to
custom
create
curves.
LUT
That's
paths
what it
and
was.
organize them into folders. Simply enter the preferences, click on the General tab, and add your LUT location.
Oh, see, that's
After
nice.
refreshing, any
That's
subfolders in that
nice.
location will appear as folders in the LUT panel.
Let's do that.
And as with regular LUTs, you'll be able to access them in the contextual menus of the timeline clips and nodes. If
See,
you are working on a collaborative
that should have been,
facility,
I
you
mean,
can add your LUTs to a shared folder on the server so you and your colleagues
that's
can
good.
access the same lookup tables while you work. The Resolve Effects library has been expanded with 11 new creative tools and updates to its existing effects. Among them, the Motion Trails effect can be used to imitate a slower shutter speed,
Oh, dang.
while False Color allows you to check the exposure values of your video.
Motion
based on
trails,
specific
that's
time and
cool.
ranges.
You can add
There's
add
also
motion
creative
blur.
mode in which you can emulate posturization looks like thermal or night vision.
Oh, that's cool.
If you have a DaVinci Resolve Advanced panel, these new features are supported with an optional redesigned keycap set. Advanced and mini panels can now be connected to remote grading machines, and multiple clients can now connect to the same remote grading session. These are just some of the new features in DaVinci Resolve 17's color page.
So as you can see, this is a big update for colorists. Yeah, and a lot of the features in here have been years of engineering work. So it's really exciting to see these features finally getting
Man,
to the
that's
shop.
really cool.
Now, if you're using the
With an enhanced edit selection toolset, automatic transient detection, comprehensive Dolby Atmos integration, plus the introduction of a brand new audio core engine and Flexbus customizable busing, firmware automation,
Flexbus.
and more. Let's start with
It's
the
like a bus,
improved
but
edit selection
flexier.
mode. This update takes Fairlight's multifunction edit selection tool and shortcuts to a whole new level with a more advanced toolset, live editing preview, and lightning fast response time even during playback and recording.
Wow,
Edit
that's
selection
cool.
mode combines the selection arrow and the range tools to give you an advanced edit selection tool that automatically changes based on where and how you click. Modifier keys offer additional functionality. Hold Shift and drag to extend an edit selection. Option drag to duplicate a selection, and release the mouse to paste.
This is
And use
like
Command or Shift to
updating it
extend
for like
selections to additional
normal,
tracks.
what you
In
would
edit
think it
selection
would
mode,
do, you
can
know?
solo scrub the audio for any clip anywhere in the timeline.
But that's
Just hold
cool.
Shift
That's
and
really
Command
good. That
while
makes it a lot
dragging
more
over the clip.
useful.
When you scrub a clip with the Edit Selection tool, and finally you can hold Shift Option together to scroll the waveform zoom without changing volume.
Oh, that's
DaVinci Resolve
cool.
17 also has Transient Detection, which can be used to automatically identify transients inside audio clips. Once detected, the transients can be used for edit selection. The combination of Fairlight's Transient Detection and edit selection shortcuts have the potential to further increase your audio editing speed and efficiency without the need for additional hardware or third-party tools. DaVinci Resolve 17 Studio is now certified with fully integrated Dolby Atmos home theater workflows. Flexbus offers a single user-defined bus that has the ability to pass signals from mono to fully immersive formats up to 26 channels wide and can be changed at any time.
That's
bus
cool.
outputs and sends can be patched one at a time in the mixer or all at once in the bus assign window. And users can control the routing of the buses in any way that's needed for the project.
This is like
including
next
bus to
level
bus,
audio
bus to
nerd
track,
stuff.
or track to bus. With
Oh,
Flexbus, you
boy.
can direct signals to many different places at the same time to achieve complex mixing.
Now we've come up with a new,
Oh,
new console.
boy.
It's called the Fairlight Desktop Console. We've got some slides to show you so you can see what it looks like. You can see there it is there.
Oh, that's
So it's
cool.
12 incredibly high quality faders, and they're flying faders with touch sensitivity as well. You can see the
Nice.
transport controls there on the right hand side with a really nice metal search dial. Feels really good. The studio monitor controls up the top right hand side. There's a whole bunch of channel LCDs with pan controls on them. But all those channel controls.
I could see being totally about that, man, for you audio
So,
nerds.
for example, if you push like the EQ button on the left hand side, then all the
That's
knobs will be
really
EQ.
cool.
So it's really nice feature, and it's an exciting feature as well.
Yeah,
So you
that's
plug a 10
neat.
HDTV or
Man,
monitor
you could do
into
some
the connector there,
really,
and you've got
that's
full
awesome.
Channel summary of all the channels and the same, very similar kind of status as what the big studio consoles have. So that's really cool. Now there's loads of audio meters on the LCD monitor. You'll see all the flying faders there. You can see it go. You can even back
Oh,
across
and it has the
when you're doing
motors in it.
so all
Oh,
the tracks and,
boy.
you can have hundreds of channels.
Oh,
It's
so
really, really
cool.
nice. So we've been working on something else, and that's where really our focus was.
They're working on
So what I want to do is introduce the DaVinci Resolve Speed Editor. Now, it's different to a
Oh,
regular editor,
dang.
and I'll bring one out. I've got
Yes.
one here.
See?
You can see it there.
That's what I was saying. They should do something like
And it's
this.
different to a regular keyboard because it's only got the key specifically designed for the cut page.
Yes.
It's much faster to use. But what I'll do is I really want to show you the cut page features first. So I'll come back to the speed editor later and then I'll show you how that works.
That's
It'll be
really
much easier that
cool.
way. So let's go over to the computer. I'll put this down here. I've actually got an overhead camera, so I'll put that in the right position. So
Oh, yeah, that's like all the stuff from the keyboard, but it's all squished together. That's so cool.
So if you can cut across to the
That's what should be a thing. That's what I've been wanting.
Create a new project.
So cool.
Demo. Here's one for the cut page. Okay, now we'll need to load in some clips.
I know a lot of people don't really understand the cut page. I think it's freaking genius. I love the cut page.
Now
And
also
I'm
need to
excited
create
for the updates on this.
Now I'm looking at everything I've got.
Source tape's the bomb.
So let's go and find a clip. I'll take this one. Because we're going to be adding some transition, let's enlarge the view a little bit. You can see we can enlarge that now here, and then we can get a better view on what we're
That's
doing.
nice.
So we
You
go to
can
the, transitions.
re
we can see a whole bunch of
rearrange the
transitions. We can
interface
roll
a
over the
little bit.
transitions to try them out. So let's have a look. So we've got the normal sort of, dissolves. And I can roll over some wipes. Got some wipes here.
Those are
We've also
nice.
got
You can
fusion
preview the
functions
wipes.
So I can do all kinds of interesting things.
Ah.
That one's kind of interesting, isn't it? Noise. Now we also have new effects and new effects palette. So I can go up to the effects and you can see all the effects. There's a lot of effects in here. So you can see I've got a whole range of different
Ooh.
effects. I've got all kinds of like blurs. There's a zoom blur, which is kind of cool. There's a mosaic. All kinds of interesting features.
That's so cool that
Stylized
you
effects,
can
color effects,
preview stuff by
shaders.
going over them. That's really neat.
Some of the stylized effects.
I could see that being a rough time if you
Quite
have a not super powerful system though. I bet you can turn that off.
Vignette. We have some really nice titles. We've upgraded some of the titles, but we've also got some new Fusion titles which use the Fusion engine. So let's add a title and see what it looks like.
Nice.
Give that timeline a little bit of space. See, we have a nice title here.
That's cool. I
We also
love
have
that
some new timeline
preview
features.
thing.
You've noticed we've got a much thicker CTI now. Points here. When I drag that clip into this point, it'll keep the transition on both ends. Now when I move a clip, it'll also keep the transition. So if I grab this clip and move it down to here, it'll move the transitions with it.
That's
We've
cool.
also made some improvements to the timeline spacing. So when you go down to a large viewer, it doesn't have as much free space here. We've also got another new feature in the cut page called audio trimming. This new button here, if you click this button here, when you do an edit, it'll turn the clips into audio waveforms. So it helps you do your trimming against the
Oh
audio.
yeah,
when
see?
your music goes away. The other thing we
That
support is alpha channel
was
cleaning and
such a
timeline
big
now.
deal.
You can
Gosh, you
put
could
There's
not
also
trim
new
stuff to
chroma
audio very
down,
well.
so you can do chroma keying
That's
and timeline.
great.
And there's actually more information in the edit video, which I'll play next. Now we also have a redesign inspector. So if I go and click, there's an inspector button up here now, and you can see that the information is now all ordered by topic. So it helps you organize stuff, so including metadata,
What?
video changes, and more. Now the inspector is common between the cut, edit, and media page, so you get some commonality. And you can also edit time code and dates. So if your time code and dates aren't right, you can also change those. So let's check that out. So if I've got a shot here, I go into the file, I can change the date, make that the 10th.
That's really handy.
You can also open transitions to
That's
Fusion,
nice.
and there's more information on that in the Fusion video coming up. They're actually showing us dates. Now we can see these bin dividers even if we go into icon view or clip view
That's very Final Cut-ish, isn't it?
or even in list view.
That's cool.
So as I'm scrolling through the source tape, I can see that it'll track me.
Yeah, you can see those dates. Unless you didn't set them right, like I
We'll also add
never,
new sort
like
modes.
I
There's other
always
sort modes that we can use. The bin
don't.
dividers will change based on the sort mode. And I can also sort by scene and shot.
That's cool.
You can see scene 1,
Sortings are really neat.
Now the bin has an unsorted section for any clips that don't have metadata. Now we can update these clips really quickly. I can select on auto select the next clip, so it makes it even faster. I can then type in scene 2 and enter. And now it's gone automatically. What it's done is
That's really nice to be able to go through your clips with that.
Scene 2's location, and it's automatically selected the next clip that doesn't have any metadata on it. Whenever you go back to the source tape, your bin's all resorted. You don't have to keep doing it all the time manually.
That's really nice.
You can actually then focus the source tape by the metadata. What it means is that we can zoom into a region by pressing the source tape button, and it'll then focus on that region. So, for example, if we're scrolling along, and we're now in scene 2, if I push the source tape button again, it'll only show me scene 2. So it means I can go into scene 2 and then work
that's
just on
cool.
scene 2. If I push escape, it'll come back out. Now you notice it's actually running. If I scroll up and down the source tape, you can see like there's nothing plugged in. So obviously it's Bluetooth, and that's how it's working. It's got a couple of big batteries.
I was going to say,
so let's have a look at
witches?
on the speed editor. So I can just scroll up, and if I push source, I go in and push source, and now I go into scene 2.
Man, that's super handy because
I want to scroll down to the scene
I've gotten quite a bit of
again,
time on
so you
the
can see
the
really
keyboard,
how fast it is. It makes it so much quicker to do this.
and I love the keyboard, man. It works so well. And so that's like all of the things from the keyboard, but it's not just a giant keyboard.
Really where your shots are on the disk, and that's not really the way you edit. What you want to know is what the shots actually are. So we have a new view called metadata view. If you click on that, you can see we've got a metadata tile. I'll scroll up.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can see the media there.
It's like all combined.
So this lets you
That's
see
pretty cool. I could see myself using that.
Change based on the type of sort you do. So for example, if I sort by time code, you'll see the title change. I get a new media manager window. I can export out a timeline, and I'll export out the edit I just did. I'll also create some low resolution proxies. Let's do something in 720p. And what I'll also do is I'll put some handles.
Ooh, I don't think it had that. It didn't have the proxy
and now
thing
what it's
at
doing is
least.
it's rendering out all my content. Now this is in addition to the regular archive feature. The archive feature, you can take all your media and give it to someone. The problem is often that's too big to send. So what this allows you to do is send just the media for the single timeline, but only enough media to support it. And you can also, as I just did, export with handles, and you can export the raw media or the transcode. And I just did a transcode. Now the DRT file is a timeline file, so it's very small. There it is there. There's my timeline. So this is what it would be like if I was a colorist.
Is that
I just
new?
imported the media you've given to me and the timeline.
The
So I go to
timeline
color page,
file?
and I select some of this. Well, look how small the color wheels are in this view. Now what I can do is I can export out the file.
Whoa, see, this is cool.
get back to my
This
other
is the stuff, this is the kind of stuff that is like kind of boring, but will like make the big difference in actually workflow, like in actually getting stuff done, you know?
I can now see what the colorist has given me by importing that timeline file. And you can just keep loading them in. It'll link back to your original media, and you can see the work they're doing as they're progressing. There's
That's
also some
so
improvements in
cool.
the viewer. We've got a full screen button now, so you can go full screen. But now let's have a look at the speed editor. So the big question, I guess, is why do we develop the speed editor? Now in the top middle is the general functions. There's a whole bunch of random, well not random, but different functions here. In the lower middle is the camera control, controls for the sync bin, which I'll get to. And then of course you've got the play and stop, which is very traditional for keyboard. So let's see what it can do.
Yeah.
And really
See, that's really cool because they've actually put everything all together, because when I've used the keyboard in the past, your right hand makes a lot of sense because it's on the dial, and your left hand is on that like left panel. But then to like play and pause, you have to move like all the way over to your space bar, which is just a lot more moving your hands than you'd probably want from an edit surface. So that's really cool.
fast it can be. Now I've got a monitor just below the camera here, so it lets me actually use the speed editor here while I'm talking to you. Now we can resize the viewer. There's a resize viewer button on here, and so if I push and hold this button, I can resize the viewer.
Oh, that's cool.
So I can do that with the search dial.
See,
Now,
that's the
there's a
kind of
source
thing,
menu
like, that search dial is so cool because, like, man, I would love to have that be able to, like, scroll the timeline sometimes or turn volume up and down, like that kind of thing.
Viewer nice and big. Now using in and out
So
points is
good.
quite slow, so we can do it without doing in and out points. Now you'll notice on the front of the Smart Insert and pen buttons there's a word clip. Let's find some of the fill. That looks pretty good, so let's put that in. That's the whole clip. And we'll look for another store. That looks pretty good. Append that. Just did an autosave. Let's see what else we've got. Scroll along, looking for something. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'll append that.
So you just, you just click it once for the clip.
I just added those in just by pushing append.
That's
So you can see this is
cool.
why it's so important when we start on the source state. You can just roll along, looking for clips and drop them into the timeline.
That's
Well, now let's
smart.
do some trimming. So we'll go back to the timeline. I can also move a clip up and down the timeline, and that's very fast. So let's have a look, see how that works. So if I hold the move button, the clip will highlight, and I can just drag it down and release it.
See, that's
Now
the
it's
kind
gonna
of,
clip up and down the
that's
timeline.
really cool. You can do that on the
Nice
big
full screen button up
keyboard
here. If I
too.
want to play full screen, I can just come push the full screen button and then play. There's also a button to adjust the audio level of the clip. I've got the audio level button just here. So if I hold that, I can adjust the audio up and down. You can see it there as I adjust the search dial.
Yes,
level going up and down.
that's what we need. Gosh,
Also,
that's so
marker, double
great.
press the word marker is in front of the audio level button. So
Ah,
double
that's
press it,
important.
now I get a marker. If I want to change the marker color, I double press and hold. And it'll bring up a nice marker color window. So I can select a new marker color. I can scroll along,
Dude, that's so
and now all the
cool.
markers will be that color.
See,
There's also a snapping function, but snapping works a little bit different with the speed editor. That shot. Now the great thing about source override, it'll place the shot in the timeline on the layer above, synchronized to that base layer, because this is a different camera view. that's all synchronized. So you don't need to care about what you're doing. You can pretty much just run along looking for good cutaways. Anytime you find anything, you drop another cutaway. So let's find another cutaway. This will be good. Yeah, there's some good stuff.
Source overwrite's super rad.
So we thought it'd be funny to create a random function. So if you push the live override button twice, it's got the word random on the front. It'll just pick a camera source and of a roughly random duration and just put it down. And if you keep doing it, it'll keep placing transitions. I can push dissolve and
That's kind of cool. It just switches to a different camera.
And now, this is not really the best media for it. But if I go back to the timeline, now I've got pretty much a random edit. So it means you don't need to buy both. You don't have to buy DaVinci Resolve Studio and the keyboard. You can just buy the DaVinci Resolve Studio and you get the keyboard for free.
Man, that's rad.
It'll be available for the next few months, but we think it should be really exciting.
That's super
so
cool.
Moving on, now the next step is the edit page. Now we've got some really nice updates to the edit page as well.
You can let Resolve do the hard work of aligning multiple clips using either timecode or audio waveforms.
Yes, that's what they need. Oh, that's so rad. That's what, so yes.
Perfect for ensuring the different
Man,
angles are
that's
set up and
amazing.
aligned just the way you need. The new 3D Resolve effect keyer lets you perform keying tasks using intuitive on-screen effect controls to select, refine, and mask the matte. all
Man,
without
that's
the need to go
nice.
to the Fusion or color pages. And you can now use internally and externally generated traveling mattes by using the new composite mode options to specify the alpha or luma mattes and the foreground layer to combine multiple images together for creative results.
That's really cool.
When looking for
Whoa.
effects in the effect
So you can set like a track mat for clips in the edit page. Man, that's nuts. That's really cool.
library, new thumbnails for transitions, titles, or filters provide a live preview of that effect, making it quicker to locate and select the exact
I love
effect you're
that
after. And for editors, there are some
scrub thing.
essential new creative effects to choose from. The new transform effect allows you to distort your image. Using the overlays, you can stretch, squeeze, and corner pin an image quickly.
Wow, that's great.
Changing
All in the
composite
edit
mode to
page.
soft light and adding a couple of keyframes really helps sell this final effect.
Shoot, that's pretty awesome.
The brand new video collage effect allows you to build complex but uniform composites and then quickly animate them on and off screen using simple built-in presets or manual keyframing.
Dude, that's amazing. That's super
Use it
cool.
to set up simple yet effective split screen and picture-in-picture effects.
Oh
or
my
use it
gosh,
to
that would take like
specifically
100
enhance your
years to make.
The new proxy editing workflow
That's so
dramatically
cool.
improves performance for projects which use high-quality media, allowing for a smoother editing experience.
Now we've also had done some good updates for Fusion as well. There's much better integration with editing. So let's play the Fusion demo video and have a look and we'll see.
Fusion. Let's go.
The Fusion page in DaVinci Resolve 17 introduces several new features.
Oh,
On the
baby.
Fusion page, you can use almost any 2D or 3D node to create your desired effect. Once you've created your desired effect, you package this into a template by selecting your Fusion nodes and selecting Create Macro. Back on the Edit and Cut page, this plugin is now available to apply to any clip and adjust to get the final result you want.
Oh, so you can apply it to a
You
clip.
can also create Fusion effect templates that make use of more than one clip to create a multi-layered effect. The Fusion page in DaVinci Resolve 17 introduces a new category of nodes called Shape Nodes. These nodes are designed to generate, modify, and render vector shapes. They are perfect for a variety of motion design projects like graphics, commercials, or title sequences.
Mm-hmm.
When creating animated templates for titles, transitions, or effects, the new Anim Curves modifier allows that animation to easily scale based on the clip's duration. That means the templates automatically adjust to fit the length of the clip or transition even if you change the duration on the timeline.
That's really cool.
In this node tree, we modify the X parameter of a transform node with Anim Curves. Back on the edit page, the animation scales properly as the length of the animation changes.
See, that's the next
Now,
level
any
stuff,
transition
man.
can be converted to a Fusion cross dissolve. This allows you to customize a transition however you would like using Fusion's toolset. Audio playback and visual
Man.
waveforms are now available on the Fusion page. This makes syncing VFX to a musical beat, sound effects like gunshots, or audio cues from a narrator a
See, that's what we needed.
Customizable Toolbars allows an artist to create their own toolbars tailored for their needs. Or
Oh,
specific
dude, you
tasks.
can make your own toolbar. That's so
Edit and cut
cool.
Page timeline markers are now visible and editable on the Fusion page.
Yeah. Timeline markers.
Node editor bookmarks have been added to help Fusion artists quickly navigate large node trees.
So that's a really nice update for Fusion. Plus the
Yeah.
rendering speeds have been really increased, which is nice. So what we're doing today, we're announcing we're going to make the collaboration free of charge for both DaVinci Resolve, the free version, and DaVinci Resolve Studio.
That's
So you just go and
cool.
download it. Now we think this will help people work together. Collaboration will be the free download. You just go and download it manually. So that's about all we have for this update. I want to thank the
That's
engineers
super
who've worked
cool.
really hard on this update and really long hours in some difficult conditions.
Man, I'll tell you, this is pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in the color page that I'm excited to play around with. That HDR color looks really cool. There's like a few new really cool features, but then like just a lot of smoothing stuff out, man. That's so cool. Oh, I'm excited to jump in. Believe me, we're gonna have lots and lots of videos about Resolve 17, guys. So exciting. So exciting. It's exciting. Man, we're going to have a ton of videos about this stuff in the future. I'm going to be looking up how to do everything, and I'll teach you guys, and it'll be great. We'll learn together. Oh man, so exciting. For now, if you're just getting into Resolve, I have a crash course right here to teach you all the basics. It's not going to be super different. There's little tweaks in some of the menus and the buttons and stuff, but for the most part, it works very similarly. So really excited. So exciting.